as in a sense like, um, you know, no matter what situation you're in, you would never be deemed as the person that's causing the drama or the troubles. Automatically, it will be somebody else. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is um, just having the privilege of not feeling uncomfortable in simple, basic scenarios that you really shouldn't be uncomfortable in. Like, I don't know, walking into a room full of white people, or and vice versa, or stepping in somewhere where there's a lot of where something bad's happened. There's bare black people there. None of the black people did it, or brown people or whoever. It was the, let's just say it was the white person, but it would, out of that situation, if someone was looking in, it would be that it wouldn't be that person that thought, oh, do you know what, they must have done it. That kind of scenario. There's bare different things like that though. There's bare different ways you can look at it.
But what's your perspective on white privilege? What does white privilege mean to you?
I never really thought of it like that. It doesn't really mean much to me, in all honesty. Because I try not to make it a thing. In a sense, it is a thing, but I try not to make it a thing that kind of dictates or controls the way I think. Does that make sense?
Okay. Has white privilege ever affected you in your life?
But that's the thing. It might have, and I might not have even have realized it. That's what's weird about it. Consciously, consciously I can answer that question. Consciously, I don't think so. But it still might have, and I have to really like sit down and look back.
Okay, can I ask you another question?
Go.
So, do you feel you have to work harder than the white man to get where you're getting in life?
Yeah. But
so you have been affected by white privilege then?
Okay, so you made me answer that question. Yeah, and it's a tricky one because
Do you feel you have to justify yourself more than a white person?
Yes, but I've stopped thinking like that now. I used to think like that all the time. That used to be what I thought. But then I've kind of come to a point now where I try not to make that a thing. Like I consciously make an effort not to have that be a thing for me. So I won't, what's the word? I won't articulate my voice, or I won't carry myself in a certain way because I think people will recept that what's the thank you. That's why you was you. Receive that better, or the way I conduct myself, I won't lighten it up or whiten it up, or I won't. Now I'll stop not being me. I'll be me in every situation and scenario I can be in, because I know that I have got manners, I've got respect, and I know that I portray that in the right way. But at the same time, I don't feel like even that thing where you articulate your voice, that doesn't mean you're white. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can be black or another ethnicity and be smart or speak in an intelligent way. But it's like for example, when when we was younger, black boys, whatever or whatever, you would hear it a lot with, "Oh, you're talking white." Why? Because I'm talking white because I'm smart. Do you know what I'm saying? There's that old stigma as well. So it's a battle on both sides. But yeah, I don't shy myself away in any situation anymore. I used to. I used to switch up my voice sometimes, like what my mum used to do on the phone back in the day, or my dad, when talking to, like, I don't know, the electric bill people or the phone bill people or whatever the case may be, because you know that they will take you more serious if you sound like a certain type of person. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know if I answered your question, though, sis.
Okay. One more question. Sorry, David, I know this is your thing. There was an incident in your school which to me kind of, you took a step back from, but said you would challenge if needed to. There was a assembly whereby they said that hairstyles could only be of a certain height.
Mm.
Now, you told me what the outcome of that assembly was and your thoughts and your opinions and
I wasn't in that
children...
assembly.
No, I know.
Oh, sorry.
You said some children came to you about that and how they felt and how it actually made you feel because it was actually indirectly directed at a...
Yeah, it was racism. Yeah, it was racism. So what are you asking me, sis?
So, you basically you told me that obviously that was only directed at black people because black people's hair only grows up.
Yeah.
So again, would that not be? It's not directed at white people.
Oh, so you're asking me if that's... we talking about the privilege thing still?
Well, yeah.
So what are you asking
Because
me
they
though?
wouldn't say, I'm saying, but how did that?
How did that affect me?
Yeah.
Oh, that was anger. Oh, that made me so angry. And it made me even more angry. Sorry, I get what you're saying now. And it made me even more angry because the kids are so young. And they're coming to me because they feel like they can't talk to anyone about it, obviously. But the fact that that's still popping off is still happening and in schools and across the board, it's ridiculous. But it did make me feel angry, especially because even if, let's just say that was a rule, none of the teachers who they're directing it at, who's a part of that community, that group, that ethnicity, none of the teachers were asked about it. Do you know if you was asked, like, okay, how do you feel about this, blah, 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 and then we can have a dialogue so then they can understand where we're coming from and vice versa, and blah, blah, blah. That's a different story. Because then they would actually understand that, okay, this rule's foolishness. This rule's disrespectful. Forget all that. This rule's racist. Do you know? But none of that actually happened. So for me to hear that, and I'm hearing things all third hand now. I'm hearing things from the kids who are hearing it from the teachers who have been instructed or hearing it from somebody else. So, you know, but if I was in those situations, as in if I was in the assembly, I would have outrightly said something. Because if I didn't, I couldn't have lived with that. And if I didn't, then that means I'm accepting it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like when kids get sent to me because of their hairstyle, I send them back to the class. You know, and I say if there's a problem...
That there alone is showing you that the system is still built.
Oh, the system is always...
Still not,
until...
not affecting no,
it's not. Until the system... And the system's always going to be like that, no matter what kind of person enters the school. Like, and that was a real humbling and a real reality check to me. My main thing to get into a school was so kids that are like me can have someone that they relate to, that they resonate with, that's of authority. You know, they can walk around the school and they can see someone that looks like them, sounds like them, maybe has the same hairstyle as them, understands their upbringing, blah, 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 instead of walking around and seeing people that don't look like them. It's like the first time Black Panther came along. Black kids went wild because they seen a superhero that looked like them. Yeah, of course we did. But it's different. Even though we knew about superheroes like that from way back, it wasn't out in the limelight. It wasn't mainstream. It may have been mainstream in our household, but it wasn't mainstream in the big wide world in the UK, which is predominantly a white place, you know. So look at the outbreak when that film came out. Like, even people that didn't understand about black pride and all that stuff felt, and talking about black kids, they just felt something. Do you know what I'm saying? They felt something. We've been surrounded by people like Superman, who's white, The Flash, who's white, blah, 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 who's white. The only time we'll see someone black in a hero film is probably the villain. Do you know what I'm saying? So it is a difference. So that's why one of the main reasons I wanted to get myself into school, so they could see that. They could have someone that understands the way they talk, that's walked around in their area, that's worked in the community, that might bump into them when I'm walking through town, that will have that dialogue, will say, yo, respect, or how you doing, or whatever the case may be. Or just, you know what I'm saying, even just saying things like, yo, in a bit, like, those things make the child feel a bit safe, like they're not alien, that, oh, there is an adult that understands me, oh, yeah, because they don't have that. But be straight, white people will never understand what that feels like, because predominantly the teachers, predominantly in the school, the teachers are white, Wherever you look around you, you see more white than black. Do you know what I'm saying? The only way a white person would understand that is if they was to go to a country that's predominantly black, and then it will be on the reverse in the sense of they won't see much people that look like them. Do you know what I'm saying? So going into a school that teaches you things that are not even needed in life, that teaches you the wrong history, that teaches you history that has nothing to do with you in the slightest. So you're not even learning about yourself. Like it's like you're doomed to fail. You're literally doomed to fail. So yeah. Anyway, I digress because I went on a tangent a bit, but it gave me a reality check with. I thought, yeah, I could make a difference, and I can a little bit, but it won't do the trick unless the system is changed from the root up. Because even though I may be stepping in, another black person may be stepping in, another black woman may be stepping in, and you see flickers of differences and variety and whatever the case may be. Unless the root's changed, nothing's changing. It don't matter who you are. The curriculum's still the same. You can be a teacher, but when you're a teacher, you're not in control of the curriculum. The curriculum's still in control of you. So it's about who's ever in control of the curriculum. Whoever's in control of the curriculum is obviously not black, or if any other ethnicity other than white. Because if it was the case, then certain things wouldn't be getting taught, and certain things would be getting taught. You know. So it's one of them. So, but then obviously we can do our part and do as much as we can. But in reality, in actuality, that's a word. Here it is. In actuality, nothing's getting changed unless the root has been chopped and started again. But